Greetings to you, TCU basketball fan. This is your SCA character coach, Coleman Maxwell. In today's chapel, I want to ask you this. What is the foundation for your life? What is the foundation for your life? The reason why I ask that question is because, we navigate life sometimes or even oftentimes with a shaky foundation. With a foundation that doesn't really satisfy us to the fullness, or it cracks on us, or it breaks on us, or it's temporary. And this is something that I want you to wrestle with, and I want you to be introspective about, because having a solid foundation for your life is super crucial. So here's a definition that I want to present to you. Here's the definition for foundation. It means this: an underlying basis or principle. An underlying basis or principle. So once again, the question is, what is the underlying basis or principle for your life? What principle do you stand upon? And so my argument today is that the only foundation worth standing upon is the foundation of Jesus, because this is an eternal foundation. Jesus presents two foundations in Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. So I want to read those to you real quick. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain fell, the rivers rose, and the winds blew and pounded that house. Yet it didn't collapse, because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and doesn't act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain fell, the rivers rose, the winds blew and pounded that house, and it collapsed. It collapsed with a great crash. And so, once again, Jesus presents two foundations. The rock, which is referring to himself, and then the sand, which is referring to circumstances that are temporary and that were never meant to satisfy you from the get-go. And so I love that Jesus presents himself as the ultimate foundation. The reason why he does that is because, he came to live a life that you and I could not live. He came to die a death that you and I deserve. And he also rose 3 days later after dying on the cross to defeat death. This is crucial for you and I. See, submitting your life to Jesus and rooting your life on the word of God will allow you to navigate the ups and downs, the hills and valleys. And so you might be experiencing victories in your life or shortcomings in your life or trials. But regardless, if your foundation is on the rock, Jesus, then he will be able to guide you through it all. But if your foundation is built on sinking sand, then your house will collapse, because your foundation is not built on something solid. Instead, it is built on something that can be moved or altered by the circumstances of life. But the good news is Jesus can't be moved or altered by the circumstances of life. Also, Jesus isn't threatened or impressed by the circumstances of life. Instead, he's always near, looking to give you more grace, to love on you, to give you forgiveness, and to draw you near to him. So once again, the question is, what is the foundation for your life? I love you. Let's get to it. Go Frogs.